Hello, I'm SolarLune, and this is Lyle In Cube Sector. So I'm gonna hopefully be playing this kind of as a let's play slash let's examine of the game and see what we can learn from it. This was a game made maybe in 2007 or so, 2006, 2007, and it's been updated last on 2009. So it was only in production for about 5 months. I think that's what the README says, but it's really professionally done. This was like my first maybe indie Metroid title next to Cave Story. I think that might have been the first I played, or this was the first I guess this was the first I played. And so this was a really good game. The music was great. It was by it's by Dub Mood and a different chiptune artists like that. So they the creator of the game used those tracks in the game, and it's just for a free track. There's just to have something to listen to, and it really fits the game well. So anyway, I'm gonna go ahead and try playing this, and basically see what we can kind of get from it. Okay, switch to joystick mode. All right, new game. Yes, erase. So I tried recording this before, and I had some. This is a cube. Lyle is too much of a weakling to pick these up just yet. Time to do some searching. Press button 1. Okay, so yeah, I tried to do this before, and I had like a good 15 minutes. The first part of this basically recorded, but I couldn't sync up the music from the speakers with the music from the game, so it kind of had a weird effect. So this time, it should be fixed, hopefully. All right, so. I didn't mention this in the first time I did this, but this is an enemy and I can't go this way, so that's a nice way of guiding the player. So this is a very Metroid-ish game. There's a lot of ways you can go, but as you can see, it pretty much blocks off the ways you shouldn't go. I automatically started heading to the right because that's where I know I should start, because I've played this before. Well, yeah. I know that's the way I should go. I think you could also head left up, but I'm not sure if. Well, I guess we can test this out as a quick little test to see how the game is basically guiding us toward the first power we'll need to kind of traverse the world. Let's see if we can head left. So if we head left, eventually we'll get to a place where we can jump, and we can't jump it. So this is again a nice way of guiding the player out in a Metroid game where you kind of have to choose where to go, but initially there's only basically one route open to you. So that's something I could learn from Valkyrie and myself, to make sure that whichever route you choose, essentially, or whichever way the game goes initially, that's pretty much the only route that you should be able to go when the game starts, so that players don't get lost or anything upon just starting up the game. Alright, so as you can see, again, the game is really funneling us. We can't really. There's kind of a lot of enemies to dodge for the first time going through this. I think this could be a few less enemies, just maybe 2 or 3 less. But I like those enemies because they're annoying in a good way. So we got a map. Map is now viewable on the pause screen. Press spacebar during the game to pause. Now, something I didn't really like is that you have to press space to pause. There's no button on the joystick that does it, so that's kind of weird. But it's not that big of a deal. You got cube lift. Stand on top of a cube and press button 2 to lift, button 2 to throw, up and button 2 for upward, short, long, and don't get hit by a thrown cube. So the blue cubes explode, the green cubes don't. There's also a nice little touch that both of these types of cubes are here. He could have just put 1 or 2 of the same kind, but instead he put 2 different kinds, different colored cubes, so you can see what the effect is. Between what's the difference between a green cube and a blue cube? Well, you can see that right there, without having to be under pressure fighting the enemies. Let's see here. Okay, so so now these cubes. This is another little introduction. Since you can't jump up here, you kind of have to use a cube to get up naturally, and you'll naturally remember. Oh yeah, the green cubes don't explode when you hit the ground or don't disappear. So again, very nice little, very nice simple kind of funneling and you know, simple telling you where to go. So if I recall, this game isn't too long. It might be a few parts, 2 or maybe 3 or 4 parts, but I might be wrong because the map, it makes me think it's huge. So I'm not sure. I'm not sure exactly how long this game, well, how long this will go, if this is going to be a full Let's Play. The original idea I had was it wasn't supposed to be like a full Let's Play. Okay, I can still get across. It wasn't supposed to be a full Let's Play. So originally, when I was thinking about doing this little series that I'm thinking of doing, but well, yeah, it was going to be where I just examine different games and see what I can learn from them, and you know, basically go from game to game on a topic basis. You know, what can we learn from The Sims 3 as opposed to this, or what can we learn from, you know, Beyond Good and Evil for that. So that's what the original idea was, and the great music here. Again, this was like my first game that had chiptunes in it, and this was just like, man, the music. So, oh yeah, anyway, yeah, I was going to do kind of just a examination of basically one or two, or I guess different games, but just a single part in each game. Now that I'm playing this game, though, I'm kind of like, oh wow, that was incredible. But yeah, and now that I'm playing this game, I think I'm just gonna play it through and just have a normal Let's Play, where I just basically examine the game. I know that this is I think this is a pretty, at least a somewhat well-known indie game, so I'm sure that there's other people who have Let's Played it already. I guess that's the verb for it, Let's Played. But yeah, you know, it's still a really good game, so I still would like to play it and record my reactions and things like that. And don't worry, I'm still working on Valkyrian and things. I'm not going to stop making games or anything like that to... That was a little gnarly. I'm not going to stop making games or anything to, you know, do a Let's Play. But I should have basically this up when I'm not playing. I'm not making a game. So, yeah, hopefully I'll have more stuff on my channel through having games like this, or, you know, playing little games like this. At least that way my channel won't go unused for months and months and months while I'm, you know, making a game or thinking of a tutorial. And that's the thing about tutorials too, is that it's a lot of work to make a tutorial, but I don't know everything at all. Like the things that I've even said on my tutorials, I'm like, I could have said that better. I wonder if that's true. Like I'm not, you know, really knowledgeable about this stuff. A lot of this stuff I'm just, you know, going based off of what I learned, and even that I'm still learning. That's why I'm kind of hesitant to make, you know, new Python tutorials or, you know, Sunbox tutorials. Either I don't know that much, which is, well, I both don't know that much, as well as I'm afraid of saying, you know, do things this way, when it really, that's not the case at all. And then I come back, you know, a month later and say, oh man, I learned a much better way to do things. And that's kind of what happened with the 2D tutorials I made for the Blender game engine. Another music track, another area with an electronic beetle. Can't jump this way. Yeah, okay, I'll have to come back later. But yeah, that's what kind of happened with the Blender game engine 2D tutorials. It was that, you know, I went through like 10 parts of my Python in the BGE tutorials, and then 1 or 2 parts of the 2D tutorials. Wait, I got a power up here. Cube jump. Press button 1 while jumping and holding cube to throw cube downward and jump higher. So, just jump again in the air. Yeah, that's a really cool effect. A really cool power up. I like that. Nice mobility and attack options. That's really well done. But yeah, I got like the first or second part out of the way of the 2D tutorial, and then I learned like, oh, you can do this with vectors, you can do that with this, and it's, you know, you learn so much more, especially as a game developer. And so it's like, you know, man, I wish I had known that before I made the tutorials. So that's kind of the thing that kind of is holding me back from making more tutorials. Is just, I don't want to tell someone to do something and then find out later that there's a much better way to do it. And that's, you know, that's life. I already know. So either I'll make tutorials disregarding disregarding things, or let's see, yeah, either I'll make tutorials that basically disregard. Leave me alone. All right. I'm just gonna. You've won this round, Mr. Radioactive Hippo, burping bubbles that can burn you. Acid bubbles, I guess. I don't know. But yeah, he clearly is out of my league. So yeah, hopefully, if I make more tutorials, I won't really worry about it too much, or I'll, you know, try to investigate a lot more. Well, many different ways to do things, so I don't say, okay, this is the best way, when really there's more than one. So anyway, let's see. I guess it doesn't really matter if I leave this guy or not, huh? There we go. It matters to me. Okay, so let's see. Let's go ahead and keep going up here. I mentioned this in the first part of the video that never will get errored, but the parallax on the background, that's a really cool effect. And I mean, most games would do that, but it's a really that hit back, knocked back. But yeah, it's a really strong effect. Like, you know, there's like 4 layers of parallax in this one little background. It's really a strong, cool effect. Man, I cannot get up here. I might actually die here on this. Something I want to mention is that it kind of looks a little bit out of style compared to the rest of the game, because nothing else is outlined, but each of those, I'm going to take that, I'm not going to let that get out of hand. Each of those little knobs or rounded parts is outlined, and that kind of goes against the feel of the game, where pretty much nothing is outlined in this game. So it's kind of a different style, and so that could have been, you know, more in the style of the rest of the game, but overall it's really pretty good. So let me check my map here. Yeah, so this teleporter leads back to, let me see. Yep, the red ones explode. This teleporter leads back to leads back to the house. Alright, so I'm gonna stop the video here where I have the cube jump. So that's the second power up, because I got the ability to actually lift cubes. So I got the cube jump and the ability to lift cubes. I'm gonna stop and save here, and come back at another time with the next part of this game. So this game was made by Bogosoft, if I am correct, if I saw that on the tile screen correct. And I'll put a link in the description of the homepage where you can get this as well. This game was free. And to be honest, this is a really good game. It feels really good. It works really well. I can imagine, you know, if the developer added, you know, 2 or 3 more bosses. I haven't come across any currently. I'm not sure if there are any across from the final boss. But if he added, you know, 2 or 3 more and a few more areas and a couple of more power-ups, he could easily sell this at a pretty good rate. You know, I'm pretty sure I would buy it if it was $5 or $7. You know, especially having this original version. If he, you know, updated it and upgraded it, I would get it, definitely. So anyway, thank you very much for watching. I've been SolarLune, and this has been Let's Examine/Play Lyle in Cube Sector Part 1. Have fun playing this in other games.